Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about a newer Amazon Prime release, Sylvie's Love. Before we begin, let me know in the comments if you were looking forward to this, or what your thoughts were if you've seen it already. And make sure to give this a thumbs up if you like these reviews, because it helps me out immensely if you do that. Also, if you're new here and you like movies, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases and some classics. But now, let's jump right into it. This stars Tessa Thompson as Sylvie Parker, a young woman who meets an aspiring saxophonist named Robert, played by Nnamdi Asomugha, in her father's record shop in 1950s Harlem, and their love ignites a sweeping romance that transcends changing times, geography, and professional successes. This is written and directed by Eugene Ash, a former Sony Music recording artist, and this is his second feature film, having dropped on Amazon Prime during the holidays. And while it's not a holiday-themed movie, it is very fitting for that time, as it's a warm, sweet, mostly light-hearted experience. Taking place in the late 1950s and early 1960s, the film is a loving tribute to classic cinema, and if you're a fan of movies from that time period, you're in for a real treat. From the elegant costume design, the way the dialogue's delivered, the beautiful soundtrack filled with so many great jazz tunes, and even the fact it's shot on film, it has that same grainy feel of a movie from that time period. As a big fan of older films like that, this was right up my alley. Just everything about this movie was absolutely gorgeous to look at. And the visual aesthetic aside, it's just a really nice story, and it's anchored heavily by the chemistry between Tessa Thompson and Nnamdi Asomugha, because they were perfect together. Nothing about their interactions felt forced in any way. Their understanding of each other's dreams and goals, they're incredibly supportive of one another, and even when things don't work out for one of them, the other will still be very understanding. But none of it's forced positivity or anything like that. They're not robotic, where nothing bothers them whatsoever. We do see them clearly get frustrated, and there are times they have to work through it, and there is a major issue early on in the movie that I won't spoil, but it hinders their relationship for a good chunk of the film, and it helps keep the stakes fairly high, at least in terms of a straightforward romance movie. But it's just their natural connection and the amount of care they have for each other that overrides most of the issues they encounter, especially as one of the movie's biggest themes is about being able to follow your dreams. They never once want to hinder one another's ambitions, and they just want each other to be happy. I thought Tessa Thompson, as always, was absolutely delightful here. She is just an absolute powerhouse each time she's on screen, and she gives the film this nice sense of warmth. And Nnamdi Asomugha, who I've never seen in a film before, was incredibly charismatic. I know he had a career in football before this, but his acting abilities were solid, and he comes off like a natural. I hope to see more of him in the near future. Plus, you have a solid supporting cast who go in and out, but some of them are almost unrecognizable at first, including Lance Reddick and Eva Longoria, both of whom are nice to see pop up. Now, I thought the first 2/3 of the movie were near perfect. I was instantly hooked by it, and I wouldn't change a thing other than maybe the fact it could have expanded upon this one subplot where Sylvie's mother disapproves of their relationship at first, because they bring it up like it's a big thing, but they go absolutely nowhere with it, and she's only in the movie for just a bit. It fizzles out after a few scenes. But my one major criticism comes in the last half hour or so. I don't necessarily have an issue with some of the dramatic beats it hits. I thought the direction they went in was fine. However, the pacing in that last half hour goes a bit off the rails for me. The film's just about 2 hours, and I don't know if the filmmakers thought it was starting to go on for way too long after a certain point, but it felt that way, as it seemed like they were more concerned with getting to the end as quickly as possible. Without spoiling anything, there are a few big decisions that are made that put a wrench in things for our two leads, but they're almost reversed as quickly as they're brought up, despite the fact that they were fairly serious moments, and it just deflated some of the tension for me, especially since they honed in on it just 2 scenes before that, and it just felt very rushed and, to be honest, a little sloppy. Like, I never felt that runtime at any point. I know, especially for a non-blockbuster film, it is dicey to go on for longer than 2 hours. I get it, but the way the film was going, it honestly would have been fine as far as I'm concerned if they just let it go for 2.5 hours to just expand on some of the things in that last act. Maybe it could have even been told in 2 hours and 15 minutes, but it just needed to go a little further on some of those details, and had it done that, it would have been close to flawless in my book. Overall, this is an absolutely sweet, wonderful film that will leave you feeling nice and warm by the end of it. I would have liked had they just expanded on some things in the last half hour, as it would have made the film almost perfect, but still, It's a great story, led by two excellent performances from Tessa Thompson and Nnamdi Asomugha, and it's not only one of the finer romantic dramas I've seen recently, but also a loving tribute to classic cinema. I highly recommend checking it out. Sylvie's Love gets an 8.5 out of 10. So, let me know, did you see Sylvie's Love, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you enjoy the story? Did you like the performances? And what's your favorite Tessa Thompson movie? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.